Well, good morning, Year 5, and welcome to our shared reading for week 8, our first shared reading lesson. So, this week we are going to give you a little bit of an opportunity to explore in shared reading and your literacy contract tasks. Activities are going to help you with your writing. So, we always make that connection, don't we? Our shared reading is really where we're learning about what authors are doing, and then we can get that into writing and go, okay, so that's what good authors do. How can I apply that to my own writing? So, we're going to do that again this week. So this week for writing, you will see later on today when you work on it that we're going to be doing your final speech. So we've been really getting you prepared for your final speech, and this final speech is going to be assessed. So it will be an assessment task where you'll see on your writing slides. The last one is for teacher assessment. So our topic for your speeches is what makes a great leader, and we thought this would be a really good opportunity for you to start getting prepared and thinking about your leadership speeches for next term. What this is going to look like, I'm not really sure, because we know we're not coming back to school until week 6. Okay, so we're just thinking about ways that we can get you ready for this and ways that we can get you prepared. And I will communicate with you as soon as I know what this is going to look like when you do want to go for a leadership position at school. But we thought it'd be really nice, and all of you have the potential and the opportunity to show leadership. So we thought it would be a really good idea to just get you thinking about that and using our shared reading and our literacy tasks to get prepared for that speech. And you can use what you've been doing for your leadership speeches, or you can use and adapt and things like that. So let's have a look at our learning intention. So this week in shared reading, we're learning to discuss and experiment with ways that we can strengthen and refine spoken text in order to entertain, inform, persuade, or inspire the audience. So what do I mean then by that word strengthen? So we know that we can talk about spoken text and we can see how they're experimenting, but I want to really focus on this word strengthen. So when I'm actually talking about strengthen, I'm actually talking about making it better. So I'm thinking about how we can strengthen the impact that your speech would have, or how we can strengthen the connection and the engagement with the audience. So strengthening it really means making it better, making it concise, making it strong. All of those things when we're talking about strengthening. So your speech is the best speech that you can actually present. But when I talk about this word refine, this is one area I feel like some of you really need to focus on, because a lot of you get to the point where you're not sure about your ideas and we just get a little bit of mumbling and jumbling about. So your speech isn't clear, it's not concise, you're kind of just pulling in some random things and you're just kind of talking about it. So when we're talking about that refining, we're talking about to make sure it's clear, it's cohesive, it's direct. We're using all of those strategies that we know. We've got examples where I should put in here. We're using our T paragraphs. All of those things that we're thinking about to refine our speech, so we don't get caught up in just going on about things that are irrelevant. We want to refine our speech and make sure it's very clear, it's very cohesive, it connects. I've got my tick paragraph and I'm really communicating with my audience. In order to strengthen, we're going to really have a look at some text features and some text forms that we can use, and devices. So that by using these things, it's going to strengthen the impact of your speech. And then by refining, it's making sure we have that really clear structure. I'm going to put that on here, clear structure. Okay, so that's what I mean about by strength. We're looking to strengthen and refine spoken text and looking at how authors do that. How do authors actually strengthen and refine their own speeches? And we're going to be looking at that. So this week, to be successful with your first task, we're going to be looking at the purpose of the speech and the audience and making sure that we're justifying our thinking. On our second shared reading, we're going to be identifying the structure of a text, and it's important to communicate ideas and strengthen its impact. And on the third shared reading, we're going to be describing the language forms and features of spoken text. So thinking about the text features, thinking about the devices, thinking about all of those things that they're using to be able to engage entertain, inform, persuade, or inspire their audience. Okay. All right. That took a lot to unpack that, but I felt like it was really important to really make very clear what I meant by strengthen and what I meant by refine. So let's jump up to our speech for today. So this is a girl who's talking about what leadership means to her. So we're going to have a look at it all the way through, and then we're going to come back and we're going to unpack some of those things about the purpose of her speech, why did she do this speech, and thinking about who her audience is and how we know that. Okay, so let's have a look.
Now, leadership is mainly known as an act of leading a group of people or an organization, but I think can be classified as many other things. In my opinion, leadership means that you are a person who does what is right, even when no one's watching. This can also be known as integrity. A sincere leader admits when they are wrong and makes an effort to change. Also, leaders don't try to inspire others by showing how great they are. Instead, they inspire you by proving how great you are. Leaders don't give up once they have reached their goal. Instead, they keep pursuing new things. Now, obviously, not everyone is born with natural abilities, but it takes little effort to go out of your way to be kind and do the right thing even when no one is watching. You may not think that people notice when you stand up for what's right, but I can tell you from my own personal experiences that people really notice. This is a great leadership skill to have. Also, when you're kind and friendly to everyone, not just to people who you appreciate more or like more than others, then people will see you as that one person that everyone loves to be around because you make them feel good about themselves. So if you ever have an opportunity to make a difference or do something nice, take advantage of that opportunity, stand out, and make a change.
So when we think about what the purpose of that speech was, I think about her purpose is to communicate what makes a good leader. So she's kind of listing them, isn't she? So she's kind of, a leader does this and a leader does that. And she's giving those examples of what a great leader actually does. So that's connecting in terms of her audience there, in terms of if they're thinking about being a leader, what do they need to do in terms of that? So I suppose her purpose is a little bit to inspire. It's a little bit to inform. I don't feel like she's trying to persuade. So it's really that inspiring someone to become a leader and thinking about, if you want to be a good leader, you need to be showing these qualities in your everyday life, not just sometimes, but all the time, and when people aren't even looking. I really liked how she made that connection there. When I think about her audience, I really feel like she's probably talking to a group of people who are aspiring to be a leader. And so that could be based at people who are looking to go into a leadership role, or even looking at, those everyday leaders that could be at school. So whether it be year 5 and 6, whether it be going up into high school, but just, I think her audience is that group of people who have the ability or have the age level to be able to lead. And leading doesn't necessarily mean being that one person at the top, but it's about how can we be leaders without the badge, or how can we be leaders without the actual the position. Doesn't matter whether we have that or not, we all have the potential to be able to be leaders. I really like how she did that. She made those connections there as well. So that was really an important connection that she was making to me, even about when I'm thinking about you guys and your opportunity to be leaders. Who is it that's actually doing those things? Who am I seeing and who am I noticing that's doing things without wanting to be noticed, and just goes about their everyday life and their everyday actions, but do that in terms of being a leader? And caring for everyone around them and doing what's right, not just when the teacher's looking, I'll go pick up that piece of rubbish, or the teacher's looking, I'll be nice and ask them to join in, but it's just happening naturally and it's just happening every day. They're the natural leaders, not the ones who are forcing it. So really great thinking for you guys to think about in terms of what you bring to a leadership role. All right. Now for your task. So this task is actually going to set you up for your writing for today. So it's a really good opportunity to really engage in this task. So to be successful, you need to be able to research, to be able to prepare to write a spoken text. You need to be able to read information from a digital text and summarize it in your own words. And you need to add detail to your research and ensure you have at least 3 ideas in each box. Okay, I want to see 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, at least. Okay, you can definitely 100% do more. But I don't want to see 2. I don't want to say, oh, I can't think of another one. I want you to think hard and come up with at least 3 ideas in each box. So using Google, I want you to research the following information online. You can use this speech. I'll actually pop the link on it right now for you there so you can come back to this. But don't just use a speech. I want you to go online as well. And I want you to think about these questions. What are the qualities of a great leader? What do great leaders do in their school and or community? What actions should leaders take within their school and or community? And lead by example. What does this mean? So like I said, you can use her ideas from the speech, but I would like to see some additional research so that you are exploring through Google. Remember just to add for kids at the end of your search, because when I was researching and I didn't put for kids, it was quite complex stuff that was looking at leading in companies and things like that. So if you put for kids, it's going to bring you back to leadership in school positions and communities and things like that. All right, so that's your task for today. All right, can you make sure you go back? So many of you forget to go back in your 2 stars and a wish. Being a reflective learner is crucial to improvement, and it's actually using your 2 stars and a wish. So a lot of you are doing things like, oh, I need to add more detail, and that's the same thing you have every time. But your wish is something that you're striving to do. You're striving to improve. If you're noticing that you're not adding more detail, well, when you do your literacy contract task the next day, that's your goal. That's what you're focusing on doing, adding more detail. So it shouldn't be a wish or a goal that you have each and every single time, because that's something you're striving to improve on. So use the success criteria here to formulate your thinking and be honest with yourself. Maybe you were able to research, but maybe you're finding it hard to summarize. So that would be something that you would put down as your wish. My wish is to improve my ability to summarize a digital text or to summarize a paragraph of information. Really think about your reflection. I think that's something we really need to work on at the moment, guys. Just thinking about that refining. Oh, there's that word. Strengthening and refining our 2 stars and a wish. Okay. All right. I can't wait to see your research, and have a great day.